Okay. I think we are live now.
Yep, I think so too.
So now I have to set it on record because I didn't do that last week. So, all right. Recording to this computer. Well, I hope everyone can hear us. That would be a good thing. A good way to start. Is there any thumbs up that we know that people can hear us?
Yes. I know that there's a delay from when we're talking to when they can hear us, because when I listen into our YouTube channel, there is like a slight delay.
Well, I just expect everybody can hear us. If not, I hope they let us know. I know I'm not on mute on my side on Zoom. You can hear me. I muted out the video on YouTube. So hello everyone to our third episode of the Health Q&A with Sarah from Virtuous Unicorns. My name is Toni Weel. I am a regenerative, tough word for me, detox specialist or counselor, and trained and certified by Dr. Morse, who's actually my lifesaver. You could say that. I told him that too, because without him, I wouldn't be here today. So I will refer to him quite often because everything that I know, almost everything that I know, I learned from him. And I did figured some things out myself by trial and error. That's how it goes. And we're here today to help you getting your questions answered. And I had a few, and actually one that is interesting is like, what clothes do you wear if you want to be detox free? And that's actually kind of tough one. I have been, you could almost say in a previous life, it's been a long time ago. I was a fashion designer for 23 years. I had my own boutique, my own label, and enjoyed enormously what I was doing. I loved to create. And even back then, and I'm talking about a long time ago, I was, so I thought, really about only natural fabrics to use for for the clothes that I made. So that was cotton and linen, but it was also what they call here rayon. And I thought, or rayon, I don't know how you pronounce that. In Europe, they call it viscose. And it comes from cellulose. And back then, I was not aware of the whole process that is involved with that. And I can tell you, it's not healthy. My other favorite fabric was silk. And I thought all natural fabric until, and that is actually not even that long ago that I learned what is involved in the silk industry. And if you look it up, if you really want to know that, you will never wear silk again. So now what is really left for us? So what are we going to wear? I mean, are we going to the synthetics? I mean, there's almost everything that you see and buy nowadays has synthetic fabrics in it. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it bad for your health? I've gotten to the point that I cannot worry about everything in life. So my solution is to wash it very well and could I say hope for the best? But I still don't think it is the best that we can do. It is, I think the best is to have an all natural product and where no chemicals are used. So you come back to hemp. And hemp was actually 100 years ago was a huge industry. And it is cheap, and you can buy organic hemp clothes. So I would say check that on the internet, see what you can find. There's also organic cotton, and I really like cotton. I also liked wool. And I was spinning my own wool and dyed it with herbs. Now I'm talking about back in the early 70s, and loved doing it. All my friends pretty much had sweaters that I knitted, and they were all wool and all dyed with plants. So that was the natural way to do it. No chemicals at all. And but then this is also an industry is like, what about the sheep? I don't think the sheep get hurt. Well, they definitely get hurt. They need to be shaven. But on the other hand, it's like, yeah, are these sheep there for us to so we have wool? I don't know. I'm not. I haven't figured that part out. What do you think about that, Sarah? How would you deal with those things?
So the wool, I do try to stay away from the wool unless I do know that it's, we do actually have a person in our area locally that does the shearing, and his wife actually does the spinning. So, and she'll make some things out of that too. I think it's like spinning and pulling that she does or whatever, and it's not dyed or anything like that. So if I wanted some wool socks or anything like that, I would definitely go that route. But you have places like bigger companies that they shear them so quickly. There's so many nicks on them, and it is hurting them sometimes. It just really all depends on the care. And because we're not there to really see it, it's just really hard to know and hard to make the decision on that too. As far as cotton, I do know that cotton is one of the most heavily pesticide-sided crops out there. So you should definitely choose organic cotton. And then from there, what I always think about is, all right, I have my organic shirt. What am I going to wash it in now? Because as soon as I wash it, is it now not going to have the organic property still? So then I always think about that kind of stuff. But I've always heard that linen is the best. And when you were talking, I went ahead and looked up because I know that there was a study that was done on the different fabrics, and the frequency of our body is 100, and linen carries the frequency of 5,000. And wool carries that same exact frequency. So it's a higher frequency than us, so it gives us energy. Whereas the other, like, let me find another one here. So rayon, polyester, they carry a frequency of 15. So that actually pulls energy from our body. So just all depending on what you're looking at, you want to do. The linen is definitely going to be the best, and so is wool. I'm on this thing, it's called lifegivinglinen.com, and I just typed in linen study, and it came up with all this information on it.
That is actually interesting that you are mentioning these two things, because when you go way, way, way back in history, those are the two that were the two fabrics or materials that were actually used: linen and wool.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that
it was not cotton.
No, for sure. And I know there is a comment out here about no wool, no leathers, no animals. And I do 100% agree on that. I definitely do try not to have any kind of animal products, but it's very hard with like shoes and whatnot too. But you just got to do the best you can in every situation that you have with what you have available to you.
Yeah, I see here a message that wool is not vegan. It's a horrific industry. But then you get to what you said, if you have a sheep yourself and you would shear it and it's not a horrific industry, then, then it would not be bad.
Correct. Because their wool grows no matter what. So they do have to be sheared. Otherwise, it would be really bad. I even believe too, which I'm not 100% on this one, but if they get too covered with their wool, they can fall down and they can't get back up. And then they will die out in the pasture. So if you ever see like a sheep that's like stuck, you should definitely notify the farmer, or at least try to help the sheep get up, because they can die.
Yeah, isn't that something weird, actually, because that already tells you this is not natural.
Yes.
because they have been made that way, you know, that their wool grows that way. I think otherwise, this is not natural that they had to be sheared.
Yeah, that it is not. So I'm sure it's breeding
Yeah.
they evolved for sure.
Yeah, we have to consider that also. But I can see where you live in a very cold climate that you would like wool. But yeah, it's all these industries for money.
Yes.
It's not good. It's actually and we got so used to having to be in a certain temperature, and that this is where our health actually comes in, because now that makes me wonder, what if we would be a lot healthier and our thyroid would work much better? Would we be able then to adjust to temperature better than we do now?
Yeah.
Because I had it a few weeks ago, and I'm on 100% fruit, and oh my God, I was so cold. It was 77 degrees in the house, the average temperature here, and I was freezing. Not even a blanket could help.
Oh man.
And I realized that normally I do have a thyroid issue, and I thought, it's under control. It doesn't bother me anymore. But I take dulse. Dulse seaweed has a little iodine in it. And I don't take it every day. It's just, now and then I put it in in a smoothie. But I hadn't taken it for quite a while. And so I made that link, and I took the dose for 2 days, and I was fine again. So that was definitely the thyroid that was acting up. So it's something to consider. And for some reason, I mean, a thyroid issue 50 years ago was kind of rare, although I had it since I was a young teenager. But nowadays, it seems everyone has thyroid issues. Thyroid, parathyroid, we're all tired and yeah, and easily irritated. This is one of the things.
Yep. It seems like we all have the same issues, and kind of makes you wonder why, huh?
Yeah. And then you come to, okay, what you said is, if you wash your clothes, is it still organic? And what are you using to wash your clothes? And believe me, I have, going to so many things and looking at that, it's like we always say, don't put on your skin what you wouldn't put in your mouth. And I'm trying like with the same thing for washing my clothes. It's like, if I can't eat it, I can't use it for washing it. But that is not helping a lot.
Exactly. Have you ever tried soap nuts?
What is that?
They're called soap nuts.
No.
I've not tried them yet either. Apparently you buy them. They're just like, I believe they look like chestnuts, almost like. You put them in a little bag.
Yes, I do. I have them.
Oh, okay, great. How are they?
Yeah, they are good. You put them in a little what is it? What do you call that?
A little
some
bag
fabric.
or something?
Yeah, a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
A little bag, and you can put a few in there, and you can reuse them several times. So my gosh, I still have a bucket full. I actually forgot about it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go ahead and try them, but I will tell you that we do not use any scents on anything. And when we're around other people or whatnot, all I can smell is their fabric softener or their soap.
Oh yeah, if we drive here to the community, it's like, no, that's not flowers. That is,
and I'm like, it's laundry day for these people. I can smell their laundry.
I have washed with just water, because when it comes to it, that's actually all that you need. Because I think that is one of the industries that keeps being pushed around us, all these soaps and cleaners, and even, with the floor cleaning, when you have that many cats, there's a lot of floor cleaner. Yeah. I have a little steamer, and what does it use? Hot water. I can add some essential oils to it, which you can actually do to your laundry too, if you just wash with water. You can add lavender or, whatever you like. And a few drops, and then you have nice smelling clothes.
Yeah. We use distilled vinegar for all of our cats on the floors and everything, and clean the counters with it. And we also have a steamer too.
Yeah, you cannot use vinegar for everything, because if it is wood, it opens up the cells of the wood. The fibers go up.
Right.
Just hot water doesn't do it, but it does on the with the vinegar in it.
We
But yeah,
definitely use diluted. So it is for sure
yeah,
diluted
of
in
course.
water. Yeah.
And I got a tip for washing your cat beds, especially if they had accidents. Use vinegar. So we have been doing that.
Nice. Good tip.
And there was a discussion, and I come to that discussion and question often, what about Kangen water? Now, I think not many people will be happy if I say that. Kangen is an MLM industry. And so everybody who bought into that Kangen water thing, they bought these machines for a lot of money. I have not looked the last few years how expensive they are, but I think they are a few $1,000s. So when I first heard about that, I found it very interesting. And this goes way, way back when they just started out. And then I heard Dr. Morse talk about it, and it's like, you do not even want high alkaline water. Your water should not be any higher than maybe 825, 8.5, but definitely not higher. Kangen can go pretty high. And so a lot of people drinking water that is 9.5, you can even buy bottled water that is that high. And there are actually alkaline drops that you can add to your water to make it more alkaline. Now, the question is then, why do you want to use high alkaline water? And it is like, yeah, well, for acidosis, and our body needs to be more alkaline. Well, to me, that is like a shortcut, because if you still keep eating the same foods, and you think that your body is going to be less acidic because you drink high alkaline water, you may want to think again. It doesn't work that way. Your best water is actually in the fruit. It doesn't matter if it comes from apples or water lemon or grapes. It is that is the kind of water that you actually absolutely need, and it is the right alkalinity for what your body needs. Now, the discussion went into with someone buying the Kangen machines on eBay because there were a lot available. Doesn't that tell you something? It is either people don't want to use them, want to get rid of them, want to try to get at least some money back, and or it was just not helping them the way they were hoping it would. And they got out of the MLM parts. So there are people now who absolutely refurbish these machines to perfection and then sell them again. And but to me, it's still the same. You know, we do not need that high. We do not even want that high alkaline water. And the machines are still expensive. Personally, I use because here in Florida the water is horrendous. It's you smell the bleach, and the chlorine, and it has fluoride in it. So my water goes through a fluoride, filter from Alexa Pure. That is one that I can absolutely recommend. And no, I don't make money on it recommending it. I just love the machine. I have it for more than 5 years, and in the 5 years, and I use it a lot. Also for my cats. My cats also get filtered water. And that water works for us. And it is a lot cheaper than the Kangen water. And for tea, I always use distilled water. And I actually found on eBay a distiller for under $80. So my water goes from the tap into the filter and then into the distiller. It's a little, it's an extra step, but I don't mind doing that. So do you have any insight on the Kangen water part or the high alkalinity water?
We do not drink any of the high alkaline water. I 100% feel so much better when we are drinking our fruit juices. I do know that you said before in another one of our shows that we should still continue to drink water, and that does help with our bowels, especially while we're in the beginning stages of it, because you don't want constipation. But we have a Berkey water filtration system. We have the 4 black filters and we have 2 fluoride filters. Do you know anything about those?
And which one is that?
The Berkey, BERK.
Yeah. This is actually because I had been looking at that, and then the Alexa Pure came on the market, and it had a little, what I have heard, a little better and cheaper. They are cheaper, and the filters are cheaper. The filters from the Alexa Pure last a little longer. And but I mean, both filters, they are great. They look a lot the same. The filter system is a little different, but both filter out the fluoride and all the other things, which a lot of all the other filters do, but they don't do the fluoride. So they're both good. Berkeley is just a little bit more expensive.
Yes. And I know we got ours on sale last year before Christmas. And that's mainly the one reason we got it. But we have hard water that does not help with hard water where we are. And of course, we do have fluoride in our water too. So we got that for just at least do that. But, our showers and everything too, we have filters on our shower heads. And but that I think only takes out the chlorine. So I think it's like a chlorine filter.
I have one that actually takes out also the fluorides. And this one comes from Santé Health, SANTE Health, and then look for fluoride filters. I have them on my shower head, fill the bathtub with it, works great. And that's definitely what you need to use. And the filters there, I pay about $135 for a new filter every year. So I feel that is pretty doable for having, getting that fluoride out of the water. Because if you take baths like I do, then you don't want to be sitting in water with fluoride. And it's the same for me with swimming. I don't swim in chlorinated pools.
Yes.
And
that's the one thing I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I had been told, just wait until you don't smell the chlorine anymore, or the chemicals. And I'm like, well, no, let's not.
My mom, she got a saltwater pool a couple of years ago. And I mean, it's a little bit more maintenance, but it's nothing terrible. And also she is here now. So Barb's here.
Hi, Toni.
Hi, Barb.
How are you?
I am good. And I expect you to be great too.
I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah. So we were just talking about your pool and the saltwater pool, and it's like you do not smell like chlorine when you come out of it. And I remember years ago, my son, he would smell like chlorine it would be like days, even after a shower and everything. And then plus, your eyes, I don't think you should still open your eyes in that water, but I mean, his eyes definitely are not as red as what they would be in the chlorine pool.
Yeah. I miss going to swim. I live in a community where they have a beautiful pool, and the first years before I knew better, I did go there, and it wasn't doing my skin any good, and I don't think it was doing my health any good. And that was at a time that I was not well at all. So I was like, well, let's take that one out of the equation, so it cannot make things worse.
Exactly.
I had a question about receding gums, and this is something that I've had issues with my whole life. And even when I was in my teens and my early 20s, I had problems with receding gums. That only tells you how acidic the body is. Now, to get rid of it, and I forgot, this was a question from Andrew. And he wondered if anything can be done for receding gums aside from fruit, berries, melons, and greens. And for some reason, I'm experiencing very fast recession on nearly all of my teeth. And I mean, numerous millimeters just in a few months. That is not good. but it shows you how acidic your body is, and lymph needs to start moving. So the key is before we can have the lymph moving, we need to have the kidneys to filter. We always come back to that part. And to get your kidneys to filter, you are absolutely on the right path. You're doing great with all the fruits. But and then you you have to get to the part is get the lymph moving as soon as your kidneys are filtering. You have well, it's like Dr. Morse says, acidosis in the head, and you have to drain lymphatically. Kidneys filtering, and I came to it because a lot of questions are about how do you get the kidneys to filter. It's always getting on the fruit. Transition to the fruit, see how that goes. Your kidneys are not filtering, then you can use the castor oil packs. You can use, that was a tip I recently got, and even my very, very stubborn kidneys got to filter a little. And that was using parsley, juiced parsley in the morning. And you do that for a few days. Don't do that for too long, just for a few days, maximum a week, and see how that goes. And then you stop for a while and you can repeat it. And that was the first thing in the morning. So I use 2 bunches. That is about 4, depends on how big they are. Sometimes the bunches are small, and I was on a farmer's market in Tampa, and I got these huge bushes. So it's there are probably, I use probably one of those, and they give me about 6 to 8 ounces of juice, and you drink those and see what happens. They're very strong, and it should work. If not, tell me.
The other thing about the receding gums was don't floss. And if you do have anything in your tooth, be so gentle with your gums. You definitely do not want to damage them or hurt them. Just be gentle and work to get that out. Now,
the soft brushes and non-aggressive toothpaste, if any at all, and with all the fruit, because he was worried that it could be the unripe fruit or the citrus. Well, you do want to say, or unripe citrus, and you do want to stay, if you can, stay away from the unripe fruits in general. And rinse your mouth afterwards. But yeah, you had this what was it, an almost 2-hour conversation or live show with Charlie Freak. So go ahead, tell us everything about it.
Yeah, for sure.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah. Let me compact 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, just definitely, if you're already eating your fruits and whatnot, you don't need to be brushing your teeth all the time. You want to use like move away from your gums when you're brushing. You don't want to brush up into them, and just a very, very light. You do not want to scrub them very hard. And of course, you don't want to be flossing. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're not eating meat and you're not eating acidic foods like that, then they're not getting stuck up in your teeth. So if you are eating something and it gets stuck in your tooth, you just want to gently go in there and remove it.
Oh, that's not even 5 minutes.
I was trying to really compact it in. Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. You mentioned as one of the questions that you got was about milk, soy, almond, and hemp. And of course, if we want to get healthy, then we definitely don't want to use any cow's milk. I mean, that's the dairy part. And sometimes I get questions, but yeah, no dairy, but what about yogurt and what about cheese? Well, dairy means everything that is made from milk from a cow, and literally everything. And not only from a cow, I mean, from goats, from wherever animal the milk comes from or the cheeses. It's like, don't. It's bad for your health. It's very, very mucus forming in your body. Now, when you come to soy, almond, and hemp, soy is another thing. I think to get to the soy part, it's like, it's beans. That is one thing. Do I know enough about soy to even talk about it? Is it fermented? How is it being used? Is it being processed for you to be able to use it? I don't think I know enough about that. I do know about almond and hemp, both, and even hemp more so than almonds, are high, very high in proteins and very high in fats. Can you use it when you're transitioning or, as a lifestyle way of eating? Once in a while, but you always have to be cautious with the amount of fats and proteins in it, because your body cannot really handle it. You may not even want it, after your body is cleaner and you detox. And that is not just eating the nuts, because I use a lot of almond milk. And it is so easy, you soak like 2 cups of almonds overnight, you add water to it, and you get about 1 liter of almond milk. You easily use that up in a day. That meant that you actually use 2 cups of almonds. That's a lot. That's more than a little handful. And hemp, oh my gosh, especially hemp paste. I don't know if you ever made it. I did. It is delicious. Mm-hmm. So, and yeah, same with hemp milk, you need to have quite a bit of hemp before you have the milk. So I would say, no, don't use it. You don't need it. And you get used to it. After you've been eating more fruit, you will find that you have no use for these things anymore. The fruit is yeah.
And that was going to be my question for those people, which I didn't get a chance to ask it, was what are they wanting to use this milk in or for? Because we're not, eating cereals anymore, and in your smoothies, just make them with a little bit of water or some fruit juice or something like that. But yeah, that would be my question. If anyone can get back to us, like, what would you like to use your milk in or for?
It is often actually in the smoothies. That's what I did. And like it gives you, because of the fats, it gives you like a fuller taste. That's the same when you use avocados in dishes. It gives you that creamy taste. Okay. And in a way, we like that fat, but once you've been using more fruits, you are automatically get away from it. It doesn't taste that good anymore. And besides, and we get back to the teeth. Even plant proteins make your teeth feel kind of rough, not clean. And that is my personal experience, because when I do eat anything with plant proteins in it, I have the need to brush my teeth, and on all fruit I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So oh yeah, that was what you mentioned. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow, and a lot of people are going to be gathering with their families and friends. And what would be some good advice for eating during this time? If you are already detoxing, I would say, bring your own smoothies or juices and enjoy the family, enjoy the gathering. I think the gathering of family should be more about that than about the food that you consume. And I've been talking a lot about this, that everything in our life is about food. It is around food. It's always about food. But, if you bring your smoothie or you make your smoothie, it's still food. What does it matter if you eat different than the rest of the family? Another thing that you can do, but we're already kind of late with that, is, make some dishes and use your dehydrator if you have one. And always the salads, you cannot go wrong for those kind of get-togethers with a great salad. So enjoy it. Make a great dish with fruits. make a few fun things with fruit, for you to take care of the desserts that are actually being eaten before the meal and not after. But hey, that is what I would do, and I have been doing it. And yeah, people respect your choices. If you are all in with that, then don't feel that you have to adjust your food choices that you choose for your health just to make the rest of the family or your friends happy.
The other thing that I always tell people too is, sometimes you get a lot of negative stuff from people like, oh, why are you doing, whatever, and they don't understand. But I mean, you could always say like, lactose doesn't sit well with me, and people seem to understand that better, or I should say understand that better. Or you could say that, maybe I might have an egg allergy, or, just you're not really sure. So, I mean, like you can say like little things like that just to keep people from like really on you if you're having a really bad problem. But if not, you just tell them, like, this is what I'm choosing to do at this time. And always bring a dish or make a dessert and like a fruit platter. Or I saw this beautiful fruit Christmas tree on Instagram. It looks so good. And of course, you can always eat before you come, and then just, try to make your best decisions while you're there. And of course, this is if you're not in the middle of your detox.
Yeah. And there's always the next day, if you feel you want to eat with the family, but there is a big warning here. It may not feel good, it may taste good, but your body may not accept it as good. And
Yes.
But you know what, if you do, never feel guilty about it. It's like, if you do, you might as well enjoy it to the max.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you're detoxing and you eat, you go from fruit to an high protein or high fat dish, and of course never eat the meat, never eat meat, dairy, or eggs. That you can then nibble on the vegan part of what is on the table. Mm-hmm. But your body may not really like it, so be careful and just do a little, and then the next day you're back where what you were doing the day before, and enjoy the gathering, because that is what it's all about.
Yes. Being present with your family. Absolutely. Not about presents, but being present with your family.
Yeah.
The other thing I've heard Dr. Morse say too, because everyone's probably heard him say, is that he loves his Indian food. And so after he does that, he said, just the next day, just eat your grapes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he is coughing for 2 days because of all the mucus it's caused.
Exactly.
I have experienced that, and I wanted to try out some Indian food a while ago, and I liked the Indian food, but my body did not. So mm-hmm. It was my mind and taste buds, but it wasn't really that great to be repeated. Right. I see a question in the chat, or actually a comment in the chat, and that is, we should not have any animals. And here I wholeheartedly disagree. All my cats, and I had a rescue, and it turned into a sanctuary, because I was like, no more. These cats came to me for help. They were in nature, and they were there because other people had them and dumped them and didn't want them anymore. So, don't judge for people who have animals, because we are trying to help them and give them a happy life. And I have a whole bunch of very happy cats, and including some ferals, because it was like either be killed or I took them in, and they are now happy, purring, playful kitties. But you can still wonder then, maybe they should have been killed. But no, that is not working for me. People have amazing companions with dogs, and live happy lives, both of them. sometimes not so, but in general, people do. And I have seen that we can have a amazing connection with animals, and it doesn't matter if it's horses, cows, or sheep, or even the so-called wild animals. And it goes from chickens to turkeys in yeah, I mean, I think there can be a connection when everything is in balance. Nature, humanity, animals, it's going to be awesome. I mean, that is the paradise that I am thinking of. And it's not of like owning an animal. They are here because they're asked for our help. There's a reason that they are with us. And I just go with that.
Yes, absolutely. And the wild animals are, just as important as the domesticated ones. And, I do agree that, hopefully we come up to a very man, womankind type of world here soon, to where we can end majority, if not all, the suffering.
It is, I had once an amazing connection with a cougar in a very small zoo in near Rapid City in the Black Hills in South Dakota. I was there on a motorcycle tour, and this animal was pacing back and forth and back and forth. You probably have seen them doing it, and that is what she was doing the whole day. And I felt so sad. I started near the fence. I was sitting on the ground, and I just started talking softly. And her pacing was getting a little less and a little less. And then she stood in front of me, and she lay down. And it was one of the cats that are purr. I know not all of the wild cats purr, but this one was purring. So I think it was a cougar. But she was purring, and she was completely relaxed. And that tells us that we as humans can have, and should have actually, well, it's more can have an amazing connection with animals, that we can make a difference. And oh my gosh, it would be so beautiful if we can do this more, instead of locking them up because I don't like zoos or any of these other locked up things for animals. Hate it.
Yep.
But yeah, this was a beautiful connection that I will never forget. I didn't film it, but I did take a picture of her. And it's a long time ago, but still in my memories.
That's beautiful.
You suggested, and I think that was, unless we have other questions, well, there's actually a question about do we brush our animals with the same stuff that we do?
Yes, and I asked her about what she was feeding them to. So if you want to skip down a couple more comments, you can see what she's been feeding them also.
Yeah, because I had dogs, and of course, they were chewing on bones, and they had the healthiest, whitest teeth until they passed away when they were close to 15 years old. So they never had any problems with their teeth. Unfortunately, I do have cats with a lot of teeth problems. And that is, those finicky animals just don't want to eat what I think they should eat. But, I haven't fed them mice yet. Did you know that you actually can buy mice, and they are for our, what is it, snakes and such?
Yes.
That would be the natural food, but I don't know why I don't do that, because I have no problem feeding them a ground up chicken, which is, just as horrendous. But, cats do need, I mean, they're carnivores. They need to eat meat, otherwise they die.
Yes. And we can't choose either. And even we know some people that they process chickens. I can't even go to them to say, like, please process me a chicken. I can't. And so I could never imagine going to the pet store and saying, please give me these mice. I'm going to take them to my cats.
Yeah, well, it's
And-
actually online, and you can get them. You just choose, ground them up, and it's like, yeah.
Oh.
My husband said we need a dozen of mice here in the house, and they can have fun. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, they can have fun, but I probably won't, because I've seen what the cats can do to mice. Because
Oh, yeah.
now all my cats are indoors, but you know, when I lived in the Netherlands, my cats were indoors, outdoors. So yeah, they bring me little gifts.
Yes.
You know, the head of a mouse or something.
Yes. We used to have this one cat, and this is when I was much younger. And however many people were home in our house, because my stepdad would travel. So if he was in town, we would get 3 bodies, like little mice bodies with no heads. And then when he would be out of town, we would get only 2 little mice bodies for my mom and I. And we were like, oh, she knows she's feeding us. And so I would just tell her, thank you so much. This is not what we eat, but we're very appreciative of you. But she wouldn't do it that often, but it was funny it's sad because, you know, they were dead, but at the same time, she was caring for us.
Yeah.
At least that's what we were thinking.
Okay, we got a question from Aroma Patriot about the thyroid. Are there ways to lower the TSH with foods as well? What it is with the foods, it's not that we lower certain things, it's that in general we heal the body. We give the body the opportunity to heal. And when we put foods in our body that is causing acidity and mucus, the body cannot heal and get sicker and sicker. That is why we have all these problems. When you take that away and then you put in foods that are high frequency and are healing, I think it's even more about taking the offending foods out, you know, instead of putting the right foods in. But eventually, you know, we do need the right foods for the nutrition. But so yes, you can heal the thyroid. Is it going to be like, oh, we take the magic pill in 3 weeks or 3 months on fruits and we heal? No, it doesn't work that way. It takes time. It's a journey, and people have to really be aware that if you make these choices, it's for the rest of your life. Do you have to eat for the rest of your life only fruit? No, absolutely not. You can eat veggies, and there are a lot of veggies and things that you can eat. And that is why I have that mucusless food list that is easy to refer to what you all can eat. But it is like, you know, you have to go low on the cooked food. In cooked food is like that food. It's not helping you. It's not healing you. But your question was, can we heal the thyroid? Yes, absolutely, we can.
She did have her other question. I don't think that got answered, was about brushing her dog's teeth or just pets in general. And that's why I asked, what are they feeding them to? Like, are they getting like a high meaty diet or whatnot too?
I found from everything that I learned from Nora Lenz, she is an amazing healer, and she specified with the animals, mostly dogs, but also cats. I would suggest, if you wonder what to feed your animal, go to her website. Her older website was nomorefetbills.com. And her new one, but I think on her old one, there's a ton of information, which is good to read. And her new website is rotational mono feeding. And that actually means that it's natural for a dog to have fasting days. It is not natural to feed them 2 or 3 times a day. That's why we see so many tired and overweight dogs. And actually the same goes for cats. My cats want to eat twice a day. And but fasting days are good. And yes, she does feed them raw meats, but she also feeds them, and never together with any other food. It's a raw meat day, and then you can have a fasting day, and you have fruit days or veggie days. So definitely go to these websites, nomorefetbills.com and rotationalmonofeeding.com. Her name is Nora Lenz, Lenz. She's also on Facebook. You can easily find her there. And I trust her judgment or her teachings. And she has amazing results even with dogs who have cancer and whatever other problems, arthritis, because unfortunately our pets get now the same diseases as humans do. And the only reason is the food. If you knew what is being put in pet food, it is more than horrendous. It's absolutely awful.
It is.
Now, you and I had an idea about going over the health questionnaire.
Yes.
We could do that. We still have 10 minutes to go, and I think that would be long enough.
Yeah, perfect.
If I manage to figure out how am I going to do that, and that would be share screen.
That's correct.
Share screen. Okay.
And have your
go there, and I think we can go to this one. Share. If that is the right one, it actually is. And of course, now I cannot see. Oh, there we go. Health questionnaire.
And my main question was, so say somebody they want to communicate with you and you start talking back and forth, what all can they expect during the conversation with you?
Oh, they can expect anything. You already know that.
Yes, we do.
We absolutely talk about anything and everything, because everything has to do with how you feel, and food is not the only thing that is about health. It's how you feel. It's a trauma. It's today's traumas, yesterday's childhood traumas. It's like relationships that you are in. We can talk about anything and everything. And yeah, sometimes it goes in whatever pops up. But the reason before I talk with anybody, and I really need to have that health questionnaire filled out. Now, this one that can everybody see this? Because I don't know what you can see, but can you see it, Sarah?
Yeah, and I'm also watching on YouTube, so I can see it on YouTube also.
Okay, great. So the first part is it's all easy. You can fill that out, and definitely have a phone there, a Skype name. I do calls in the United States. I use a phone. Outside the United States, I usually use Zoom, but for some people, Skype is easier. So then we can use Skype. I had been using Skype since it started, but not in the last probably 10 years even. But I have a new account, so I started it up again. There are a few things here that I do need to point out. Dr. Morse does use glandulars. Glandulars come from bovine. And yes, it is not vegan. So I would like to know, if you do not want to use that, when we talk about it anyway, that it is not preferred to use a glandular. What a glandular actually does is, if you are in your health is in such a state that you need quick help with it could be like with the thyroid. And for me, it was actually the kidneys, because my kidneys had a kidney problem since teenager. So they don't filter well, and so it was like, okay, are you then using the kidney glandular to give them like what Dr. Morse calls a power punch? You only use it for a month, maybe 2 months, and that's it. Not more than that. And you go back on the herbals, or things should be working better. So don't want to kill me and tell me it's not vegan. When it is about your health and you want to live, this is sometimes you may need that. And would I use it as a first solution? Absolutely not. I always go for the herbs. So I have very, very few people, and I talk to hundreds of people, very few that are actually using glandulars. The blood pressure is important to me, because it should be like this. If it is any higher or lower, that indicates the high number indicates the adrenals, the lower the number indicates the kidneys. If you have an option to take it, and I would like on both sides, because right kidney, left kidney, that would be great. So don't leave it because you don't know it. See if you can get your blood pressure. Sometimes you can even get it at Walmart. And then sit down, take it 3 times, and because it fluctuates, you've been walking there, and it may be a little higher than it should be, and a few minutes later it's already lower. And eye color, we only have 2 options because actually there are only 2 colors for your eyes. And but if you have green eyes, then it's often you actually have blue eyes. So someday I will put in hazel and green here. This was actually a form that is made by Dr. Morse. They use it in the clinic there. Your resting pose would be nice. Basal temperature, also important. In the morning, take your temperature and do that before you get up to go to the bathroom or drink something. You take a temperature under your arm, not with one of these fast things, because they always seem to come out a little higher. And so yeah, so it would be nice to know urine pH, saliva pH. If you have these little strips, urine pH should always be a little on the acidic side. Saliva pH should be a little on the alkaline side. This is all clear what you need to fill out. This is what's been left out a lot. And this is one of the most important parts that I want to see. And it's not only be as honest as possible, but be as detailed as possible. Don't leave out the oil that you use in your, in your salad dressing or something. Put everything there. Well, this is clear too, what you need to fill out. And the genetic, it tells me and you, because this is not only a health questionnaire for me, this is a self-assessment. So you get more of an idea of what is going on in your body and why. And often you see the same issues that you have that your mother had, because she carried you for 9 months, and so you share the same lymph system. And it even goes back to the maternal grandmother, and we see often the same things that the siblings have. Well, this is also clear, the previous surgical procedures. And this is just, whatever is in this section, fill it out. If you have it, if you had it in the past, you can click on both. If you never had it, you go there and you have to unclick this. But then it's like, nope, never had that. So these are, fill out as much as you can, and you can see this is the section that is all related to the thyroid. Now you can have thyroid problems where you lose too much weight, but we get that in another section. This is a section about the parathyroid. So it's all clear, what to fill out. Don't rush over it. Fill out as much as you can, and then when we talk, we are discussing this. We go over it, and this is where I get the whole story. Like, how long did you have it? When did it start? What changed? What changed in your diet? What changed in your living situation? Even things are being exposed to mold. You can put that all in. This is the whole section that is related to the adrenals, and we all have weak adrenals. We all go through so much stress in especially the last few years. But if you're a mom with a few kids, well, actually even only one, because I had only one, I had stress. You have a kid, you have stress. You have animals, there's stress too. You cannot get around it. So, but fill it out as detailed as you can, and you can see the section. Even this is for the women only, this is for the man only. This is about your GI tract. It is important to know how many bowel movements do you have in a day. If you think that it's normal to have one once a week, no, it's not. You need to have like 2 or 3. If you have 3 meals a day, you have 3 bowel movements a day. And if it's all good, you have them an hour after you ate. And now, of course, that's not the same food. It's not digested yet, but it's pushing down your previous meals. Section about the liver and the gallbladder and cardiovascular. So it all gives you an idea about, you know, what is going on in your body and about your skin. And very important, the whole lymph system. But you can go into details. You can fill things out that you feel that, you know, you want to talk about it, or that I need to know. And it doesn't matter what it is. So yeah, I think the whole form is actually pretty clear. Now, I do have to admit here, you can, because I'm on the computer, I can fill this out and then I can save it. And then it is being emailed to me. Now, a lot of people have no issue doing that, but if you are, and it worked a few years ago on my iPhone, it's not working on my iPhone anymore. So something changed with the iPhone updates. I don't know how it is with other phones because I don't have that. There is, you can, if you have that option, to print it out, or you go to a library where you can get on the computer and you have the link and you open it there and you can print it out. But if you have an option to print it out and hand fill it, you know, write things down and then take a picture with your phone, that works too. And that is okay, as long as I can read it. And you sent me the pictures of the whole page, and you know, not things cut off. That will come in handy. Of course, all this information is 100% confidential. It's never being shared. I am working, and it is actually on a freaksenseworld.com. I do have one that is completely online, but I don't like how the results come out for me. So for me, for you, it's maybe easier to fill it out. For me, it's difficult to read. So I still have to work on that to make it easier to read. So that is actually the part about well, here we go, the health questionnaire. And it has my email there, but I would prefer to get it, and it doesn't matter if you send it here, if it goes to healthywithfruit@gmail.com. That's also in the show notes. My phone number is in here, but these days I'm on the phone or on call on shows so much that you may not be able to reach me. And that makes me feel bad because, you know, I want to be there for you. But please, once you filled it out, send it an email and then go to toniweel.com//booking, also in the show notes, and you make an appointment that works for you. Because if the date is available, then it works for me. So now you only have to pick what works for you. And let me see, I can probably go there and show you the booking form. So that's pretty easy, actually. And that it says a 60-minute meeting, but we always go over that. I have meetings 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So that's all good. And if you check here, like, you know, for tomorrow, there are two dates available. 3 p.m. is taken. And so, you know, you just check that out and see what's there. The Saturday I blocked. On the 26th, actually on a Sunday, I'm already fully booked. So you just pick a date, and this date, it shows this is the date for me in my time, my time zone. But for you, it will show the time where you are at. So you don't need to worry about checking out, oh my gosh, what time is it in Florida? And this all works easily. So if there are any questions about that.
Yep, there was one that came through and they want to know, is there a fee to have a chat with you?
Well, I can say yes, and I can say no. There is a donation. There is, I am not, at this point, I am not going to charge you because I want to be available for everybody. Let me do the stop share. And I feel that is major important to me. But like what Colleen says and other people, there has to be an energy exchange. So I've had somebody who made a painting for me, another person made a jewelry, but yeah, once I sent you, because that is another thing that I need to tell you. After our call, I am going to make you a personalized herbal protocol. You do not have to use it because food always comes first. You know, the fruit, your diet always comes first. And but I make you a personalized protocol, and this is part of a 23 or 24 page document with a ton of information you can go through. And it has the mucusless food list, but it has other things about B12, about how to check if your kidneys are filtering. There are a lot of how-tos, the castor oil packs, for instance. Yeah, I could have shown that too. I forgot about that. Next time. But there's a lot of information, and that is being sent in an email that gives you the amounts that would be great, but only if it fits in your budget. So please do not feel like, oh my gosh, I can get this for free, let's do it. I mean, if you're not ready to do it, and believe me, I will know when we talk. So don't do it. You know, don't make an appointment with me. Only do that when you're really, really ready. When you want to, you know, take control over your health. And there is nothing more powerful than being in control over your own health. You know, not a doctor, not your family, but you are. And it's my job to empower you with all the information that you can get to that point. And I just will be your guide on this journey. You know, I'm there whenever you need me. I'm not like, okay, you had this 1 hour or 2 or 3 hour consultation, and now you're on your own. No, you're never on your own. You can email me, you can ask me all kinds of questions, and you can set up new appointments. I actually have a package that includes that herbal protocol, and for more calls, but I never called, never counted how many times I talked to somebody. I have people, you know, that had that package, and they have been calling me, probably 20, 30 times, and it's okay. You know, I'm here to help. And just, you know, all I can ask and actually expect, and it hasn't happened yet, don't take advantage of me. You know, be fair. And if you can't afford it, then, you know, it would be great. The thing is also, and I think that is important to know, that when you do give a donation, it is being paid forward. It's being used to help other people, to help the people who cannot, absolutely not afford the herbs, and they would need them. So that is what those amounts are being paid for. And if there is more money coming in, then I will help it for people who want to go take the same classes that I did, and also become detox specialists and counselors, because my gosh, don't we all know how many more people we need who have this information, because people don't trust doctors any longer. So I think this is important.
Yes, absolutely true. We need more and more, and we need more ways to get the information out.
Yes, it is. So whoever can help with that, and whoever, you know, really, really is dedicated to go through the training and is not in it for the money, because once you know, yeah, we need it and we can get a ton of clients, I can get more clients than I really have time for. But it's like, the more people that we can train, the more information is out there. It helps everybody, and that is what we need. This is how we can change the world.
Absolutely.
Little baby steps.
One small random act of kindness at a time.
Yeah, and then more people want to pay it forward, because I talk to a lot of people who said, yeah, I only want to work for the nations too. And I think that's beautiful. But, you know, it is, I do have somebody really important to me, a very close friend, told me that you have to be careful with not being paid for, that it had to do with karma. And I understood a little part of it, but I have to dig in that more, because it has to do, if somebody does not pay for services, it has to do with their karma that is then connected with my karma. And I haven't figured that out completely yet. So she is one of Dr. Morse's professors, and she will actually talk about that more on in her classes that hopefully come out soon, because there's always more to learn.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was the story about do you charge?
Yes. Toni
story.
Toni very graciously gives all of this information and gnosis that she has and does these shows. So, and takes care of cats and takes care of herself and everyone else. And we're very grateful and thankful to you.
Well, thank you, Sarah and Barb, for being here. I heard Barb's laughing in the background, so I know she's there.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you again for being here and doing this with me. It would be tough doing this without you, and I don't want to.
Well, we enjoy it though.
Yeah, we do too. And I hope the questions got answered. And please, for the next show, okay, that's not on New Year's Eve, right? I didn't even check it.
No, I believe it's the day before.
Oh yeah, okay, so that would be good. Please do send your questions, whatever question that you come up with and you would like us to talk about, send it to healthywithfruit@gmail.com. And we'll go over that. If you have something really important that you need to talk about right then and there or right now, it's like I'm usually available on a very short notice. So, just fill out that health questionnaire and make the booking and we talk.
Yes, great. Yeah, so our next show will be Thursday, December 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. Okay. Well, have a Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas. And we'll talk with everybody the next show. Thank you, Toni, so much.
Always a pleasure,
thank you,
Toni.
guys. And thanks everybody being here and asking the questions. And till the next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas and goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.